And we're back, and map 2 is already live. Moses, are you with me, bud? Moses? And I don't know what's going on with Moses, but we are going to go ahead and get live with this pistol round. I don't want to miss anything here, as Justus is going to be starting out on the CT side, and thus far they have already picked up a couple of frags here that we did miss. Apologies for that. As it looks like TST does have that CT spawn smoked out, as Adren tries to use that to see if he can't work the pick here over towards the B side, but Flowsick will just deliver the pain there, and then Peter finds the last one, and we do find ourselves at a 1-0 score line here in favor of Justus Pro, as they did come here with already a map 1 victory on DE Cash that we got to see, and it was pretty dominant actually, 16-8 scoreline, so certainly some good work there from Justus in map number 1. As I still can't hear Moses, so I might have to bring up the overlay again here in a couple of secs here, as I don't want to do it in the middle of a big round, so I'll see if I can't just do it real quick here and just check and see what's going on with that. So hold on a moment. I'm actually going to just get on Steam messaging on my phone and see if I can't get a message from him and get an update on what's going on. As Justus has, of course, bought up a couple of FAMASas and M4s here, but TST does get the bomb planted inside the A bomb site and actually suffers no casualties in the process, so certainly a little bit of an accomplishment there from TST, as they will try to see if they can't hold off this retake from Justus. We do have a couple of guys here on the A ramp. Peter and Planks cleaning things up pretty quickly. Last guys remaining are actually going to be on the catwalk in at Long A. Long A player already down, and so it's going to be up to Yayo here with the Tech 9 from the catwalk. Picks up one frag, picks up a second frag, but he cannot spot the diffuser. The bomb was planted safe, so there's really no way for him to work anything there. And so Justus will go ahead and move up 2-0.
Alright, Dust.
What's up,
Let's
man?
see if this works.
All right.
Tried one last thing, one last ditch effort.
Alright, boy. Like I said, I don't know what's up, man. None of these mumbles are pinging bad for me or anything, so I don't think it's like lag on my end.
No, it's not. If it's anything, it's going to be a hardware issue on my part.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully we'll be able to make it through, man. As we have TST, of course, on another save. As Justus has won 3 out of 3 pistols so far in this series.
Yeah, they're definitely looking good at him. And just overall, even in the last map, they were just playing way more aggressive than TST was. So that's something that TST needs to change up.
Yeah, I don't know. As AGM is going to be sitting here at the back of B flat with the Silent Stem 4, just going to be lasering these guys down pretty easily here. Flowsick with the rotation going to come in, get his part in too. And looking like it's going to be yet again another 3-0 start for Justus in this half. As, like I said, they've won each pistol they've played, and they've also avoided getting eco'd in each time that they've played. I don't know if that's because TST hasn't invested a lot in their ecos, or if it's just because Justus has done well not to make mistakes in them. Maybe it's probably a bit of both.
A combination of both, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we haven't seen TST do that scout buy that's so popular. And those do definitely a lot of damage, and just even the armor and the P250s are very effective save rounds.
Right on, as we do finally have TST, of course, bought out across the board. They won't have the op on Adren, but they do have AKs across the board, and of course he's still a capable rifler, so this is a map where you don't really necessarily have to have the op on T side a whole lot, so.
Yeah, it's not required, but like you see the damage it can do on teams who utilize cut out.
Yeah, just every now and then, but we still got your message. It's a gun that can still be utilized pretty well on this map, though it's not necessarily required. Is that what you're alluding to? That's what.
Yeah, but it sounds more intense on my voice.
I'm just trying to help you out, man. I don't know what's going on here, but TST is executing pretty well into this A split as they do work themselves up the cat. Volcano's still posted up over here at Long. Lee seems to know that, and when he does get caught anyway. And we do have 2 mid-rotators. Yayo actually in the lower B tunnel is going to step out here and get a free little spray down there on the Flowsick. AGM able to respond back, but it's just going to be really unfruitful after that, as TST only suffers 1 loss in that round, coming up pretty big in the opening gun round on their T side.
Yeah, those A entries are so solid. Bomb down quickly and just kind of be over.
Right, it looks like Justus is still going to be able to buy up for the most part, though. They still do have M4s across the board of FAMAS on Pete. If they lose this round, they'll probably have to save, but you know, they still do have something to work with. But Adren delivers a death sentence early there, as he'll take AGM out through the door, and that's certainly a good start here for TST.
Yeah, I mean, that's just huge, and that's just Adren, like, kind of putting his team up on his back, and now you look at these entry kills they're getting. There's this trade on the catwalk. Anger's already taken A for him.
Yeah, it seems like just a whole different stroke of play here from TST in these opening gun rounds on the first half of this map, as opposed to kind of what we saw. I mean, we saw hints of brilliance from there. We had clutches from Anger. We had some good opping from Adren. So, I mean, it wasn't like they weren't doing great, but they just seem much more on point. I think maybe that map 1 loss just kind of woke them up, like, hey, guys, we need to get it together.
Yeah, and I think also this is a team that's going to be much more comfortable on a map like Dust than Cash. Even though Sal made the map the pug style of Dust 2.
Well, it's not even just that. I mean, it's just a map that kind of favors Counter-Strike Source players like Anger and Adren, who also played it a lot, you know, before it even made its way into CSGO. So yeah, I mean, but the same thing could be said for players like Peter and Planks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the source argument, that's not going to be a huge issue, but you look at, you know, these players, Sal's someone who likes to hold aim. You know, Adren, that great off this map really benefits that. Just think they have a lot of tools to be really successful on this map.
That's definitely a fair point here, as Justus does find themselves on the save. As the stream team looks to try to go ahead and tie this thing up with a 3-0 as quickly as possible, or 3-3, excuse me, as quickly as possible. We do have a couple of CTs kind of gathered up here at the double doors, just trying to see if they can exchange some fire on these catwalk players, but it's not really coming up with anything here, as Adren gonna take out the op and just drop a couple more frags here. Make that 3 more frags, or 3 frags total, as it is going to be all up to a liege here with the CZ over at the A-bomb site. And I think TST is just going to kind of avoid him and bring that bomb over to the B side.
Yeah, and you can see how careful they're being right now. They're trying to do as much as possible to not make any mistakes. You know, it's already 30 seconds into an eco round. It's 1-on-5, and they still weren't being very aggressive. So they're just trying to play smart, fundamental Counter-Strike and just make sure they get...
Yeah, it's still pretty choppy, man. I wish there was something I could do to help. I'm just not sure what it is. But you can message me on Steam. I have it on my phone, so if you want to try to give me status updates here with what's going on, as I just try to go ahead and carry on, as we do have, you know, about 600 guys out there watching. Definitely appreciate you. Like I said, we know it was kind of late notice getting this match started and getting it on stream. But I know there's a lot of people watching this match between the guys that are streaming for the stream team and stuff like that. So, like I said, definitely, like I said, appreciate all your support. I'm sure all those guys over there at TST also appreciate the support as well, as you guys tune into this game, as this is the second of 2 upper bracket round matches over here in the P playoffs, as it looks like we're going to see Justus maybe work some type of eco victory here, actually. They had pistols across the board, but they've made this round a little bit interesting. I was kind of carrying on talking about, you know, extra things, but now I actually have to kind of sit back and wonder if Justus is going to pull a round out of the hat that they probably had no business winning here. So we have a big flank coming from Peter at long. Ape and Anger responding pretty well, though, as they are going to get these kills. They do put it into a 2 versus 2. Time is still kind of ticking away, though, as Slowsick steps into the side and grabs another kill. Anger with the Tech 9 trying to save the day, and he does. And some theatrics there from Anger, but still, at the end of the day, that was a very, very dangerous round, and TST is actually somewhat lucky to come out with it. But what I was going to say is that we did cast the other premiere match, that was NFS versus Pure, and of course Pure was the one who went ahead and moved on there. So the winner of this game will go ahead and move on to play in that upper bracket match of these premier playoffs. And the loser of this will go on to play NFS in the lower bracket. Just kind of give you an idea of how the tournament lies right now. But basically, you are seeing Justus Pro a little bit fired out. They're coming to a close round that last one. I mean, Anger did save the day, but they still did a great job on the save at the end of it. And they find themselves here at the advantage once again. TST once again trying to look for a takeover here at the A-bomb site. As Anger through the smoke, immediate kill on the flow stick to even it up at a 3 versus 3. And it's just little things like that that are just absolutely devastating for a team like Justus, who have played so well in this series, and they were rewarded for it with a great map 1 win. And even in this map, they're keeping it close, but I mean, TST just seems to be one step ahead with some great fragging here, as they do have 3 up right now. 3 on 2. AGM coming in from Cat, does some great damage to Anger. And Anger will actually fall to Peter. Adren still up though, and he's just going to dish out a couple of frags there with the AK. And so the stream team will hold on to the lead right now, as the score is going to be 5-3. But I mean, Justus Pro's just not that far behind, man. They're definitely keeping in this really, really well. We do come into round number 9 here. The stream team looking to keep extending their lead. Thus far, they're doing a great job getting picks over at B and at A, but it does still wind up at 3 on 3 as Justus, like I said, fighting really, really well here to keep this game close. They now find it in a 2 versus 3. Still plenty of time left on the clock. The bomb has already made its way inside the B bomb site on Anger's back, but he's actually starting to kind of fall back into tunnels here as Adren is trying to take some control of mid. He knows that there's a guy over here in the Xbox, and he already has him down to low HP, and he'll go ahead and finish the frag off. And I think they realized that Elige is kind of more towards the B side of the map, so Anger's just going to run that bomb all the way back through T-spawn to A, where one of his teammates have pretty much already cleared A ramp and the site. And so it looks like Elige is going to be forced to kind of save the M4 over here at the B bomb site, which means that the stream team will be able to kind of extend their lead a little bit. As from what I understand, it seems like Moses is just going to go ahead and tap out. He was trying to get his mic sorted, but he has just not been able to, so that means I will actually be doing some solo casting here for the rest of the night, as I don't really have time to scramble someone else together in the middle of streaming. So you will not see any more overlays or technical difficulties on this end, but it will mean that I'll have to carry this one out by myself from here on out. So I do apologize for bringing up the overlay, but like I said, you didn't miss anything. It was just Elige trying to save an AK here in T-spawn. So I promise not to throw the overlay up in the middle of a situation where there's something you need to see. But either way, you shouldn't see that happen anymore. It's just unfortunate that we couldn't get Moses' stuff situated so he could cast with me. As Adren is able to get the opening pick there on the AGM through the door. And so once again, I mean, TST over these past few rounds has just been absolutely dominant. When they lost the pistol, they lost the following 2 rounds, but ever since the opening gun round, they have just been in complete control of this game, as they are going to be storming through the B-bomb site yet again. Ape will go ahead and get that bomb planted. Justus, this once again probably trying to save this AK from Elige. That way they can have a full buy in the next round to try to contend against the stream team here. As I mean, the stream team did lose that map 1 in a pretty tough fashion. Justus played really well there on Cash. And but the stream team, after losing that map, I think that this is maybe a bit of a reality check, as they came in as the favorite and probably thought that they would be able to get this one in 2 maps. But now they really just have to focus and be pretty driven here to take this map number 2 and to force that DE train, which will be the map 3 that we will see if TST closes this game out. So we will go ahead and move into round number 11. The stream team up 7-3. So like I said, they've just been pretty dominant ever since the opening gun round was initiated here. But we are going to see Justus with a full buy here. Peter is going to have that off. But Adren just keeps delivering these opening picks at mid. Can Peter trade it back this time? Looks like no. Anger will in fact do the trade here. So we'll get another frag, and Adren picks up Peter with the nade. and so things are just not working out for Justus. I've just seen time and time again them suffering these early picks in the round. And though Elige was able to get the bomb down with the Dren in the lower B tunnels, he's still in a tough 1 versus 3. And while he's trying to hold off the mid, it looks like he's actually going to be getting flanked from the A site. He tries to step out, sees Yayo in lower B tunnels, trying to deliver some bullets here, trying to get into the frag, but Volcano, like I said, who's been on that flank the whole time, finally makes it there, and we'll go ahead and take him out and secure yet another round for the Stream team, now up 8-3. And like I said, Justus has just had a tough time really getting anything working for them on the defensive side ever since the gun rounds came. And it's really just been a story of them suffering these crazy early picks. Like I said, Dren, I think 3 rounds in a row, was able to get an op frag at the door right off the bat. But this time, Justus survives that early op pick, so maybe that'll help them out here. But look at this cat aggression from Justus. They're definitely trying to change things up here and give a different look over to TST. They've lost the battles at mid, so they're deciding to put more emphasis on the cat, which is something that Anger and company have taken pretty easily so far. But look at Elige stepping up big with 2 kills, but Ape just responds with 2 of his own and keeps it even at a 3-on-3 now, as he does have that bomb. Yayo trying to work through lower B tunnels back to support his teammate, but gets caught by Flowstick at the door. Plank's getting mollied out of the site. Ape able to find a 3rd frag, and he will start working himself into A. AGM and Flowstick will be on the cat flank, but Volcano will be there to assist Ape from the A ramp, but the nade comes in, stops Ape from getting that plant, so now Volcano will have to 1 versus 2 here, but he gets caught in a molly and eats a lot of damage as he tried to pick up the bomb. He's at 818 HP. AGM is actually working himself all the way over towards long, and I don't think Volcano is going to expect this. I think AGM will well, never mind. AGM's just kind of holding up at the barrel, so Volcano will definitely get the plant. And at this point, as much time has passed, he's got to know, hey, maybe they've changed things up. But, oh, he jumps out into A-ramp, and AGM delivers the headshot, and he wasn't completely surprised by that. I mean, he had his crosshair aimed over there when he jumped out. But, I mean, he had low HP, and AGM was already completely ready for that. And so Justus finally found themselves a gun round here after losing quite a lot in a row. As you can see, 8 in a row to be exact. They have finally dug deep and got themselves another round. So that's great. I mean, it finally puts a halt to the momentum that the Stream teams pretty much had ever since round number 4. So let us get into round number 13 here. Both teams still fully bought out at this point, but this is a great opportunity for TST to break the money of Justus, who had that maximum loss bonus and just had it ripped away as they won that last round. And they had to rebuy, you know, quite a lot of guns because they lost 3 guys in that round. So this is definitely, like I said, a chance for TST to break the money of Justus and force them onto an eco. So this is a must-win here for Justus. And so far they've kept it even, at least, with the 4-on-4. And Peter actually has this op on Cat, which will be different. He hasn't had the op on Cat before. They've had aggressive rifling at Cat at times, but Peter's definitely had that op more towards mid. And so maybe he'll kind of catch them off guard, but he actually is forced to fall back to Game Helper, and so TST will pretty much collect this first level of Cat for free. And from here, they'll definitely probably try to work some picks. In the meantime, Yayo just kind of lurking at over here in the B-tons, as Adren is looking to see if he can't catch any op picks over here at the mid. But like I said, Justus pretty much giving mid up. They're just playing the sides, 2A, 2B, which if TST catches on to that at some point, I mean, they're going to be able to exploit that pretty easily with some mid-B hits. But we'll just see if that is the case. As actually, they are starting to fall back over towards mid to B. They're not seeing anything. And look at it, they've kind of sniffed this out. They don't have a smoke on the CT spawn, but they're stepping out and working the picks into CT. Ape does get the pick. Peter's not smoked off, but still misses his op shot, and Adren is going to find his instead. And so now it's just going to be all up to AGM here inside the B-bomb site to hold this off. But look at the movement. Really great maneuvering here around the boxes, but he's going to get Koopa there by Adren just jumping on top of him on top of the box. And so just as Justus found some success in the half, they immediately lose the next round, which, like I said, forces them onto a bad money situation and pretty much ensures that the Stream team's about to get to double digits here in the first half. So here, like I said, Justus is going to be forced to save for the last round. And it looks like TSG is just going to make quick work of it. They've already caught a couple of picks over here towards the mid. They already have control of the B-bomb site, and they're not even going to need a bomb plant. Anger will just, Volcano will just get a couple of frags over there on the long push and put an end to the round, which means in the last round of the first half, it is going to be a scoreline of 10-4. And there's still really not a whole lot here for Justus, even after the save. I mean, they're able to get the op on the Peter, but we have 3 guys on Famasas, so certainly not a best situation. We see TST with the auto snipers and op. They're just going to go for the crazy mid-pick, and Volcano finds the headshot. And the Dragon, oh my god. Alright, I got to get myself together here. I got to be more professional with this broadcast, but come on, that is hilarious stuff there with those headshots from Anger, or excuse me, from Trent and Volcano, as they are going to get control of the B side yet again, get the plant, and Anger's just going to step out here with the AK at the double doors, deliver some headshots there to Planks, and man, what a way to end it, right? I mean, what a way to end the half. That's all I can really say. Ugh. That's rough. I mean, there's not much you can do as a CT side when you literally lose 2 players in the first 5 seconds of the round. I mean, that's just devastating. I mean, that happened on a couple other different occasions. I mean, not losing 2 players right off the bat, but I mean, I think Adren probably even before that round had, I think, 3 rounds where he had an op mid pick like that. So, I mean, that's tough to deal with. But here we go, pistol round of the second half, and Justus really needs this one, otherwise the stream team might just put themselves out of reach, as they do get aggressive here on the catwalk, and Trent delivers the opening headshot, delivers a second one onto Planks as well. They'll go ahead and start falling back as Slowsick gives chase, eats a little bit of damage on the fall, but not enough to crater, and so it will be TST with the one-man advantage. Now they're trying to come into B through a smoke, and Volcano is just going to make him pay for it here, as he will get 1 frag there. Flowsick trying to come out mid. Adren in the CT spawn, though, will find himself a 3rd headshot on the round. And so now it's 12-4 in favor of the stream team. And short of Justus Pro finding an eco round here at some point, the stream team is going to go up 14-4. And that is just a long road to come back from if you're Justus. And I think we're going to be seeing a map 3 here on Train momentarily, if I had to guess. As we move on to map 3, I might throw the overlay up again really quick to go grab myself something to drink since I'm the only one talking now. It's a little bit of a strain on the voice, but I'll grab some more to drink here, and then we'll get live at map 3. But let us see how this pans out, as Yayo's got the ump, as it did get that increased armor penetration. So if this was a pistol armor round, the ump would actually be pretty powerful. He will step out, finds 1 headshot, finds 2 headshots. Thumb says you're out for 2 at least. Adren will now step over with the M4, as the remaining 3 are actually still pressing out long. And this might just be easy pickings here for Adren, as he does find 1 and 2. Planks able to get the kill with the CT. He probably won't even be able to get to the M4, though, as Anger's already in position at Game Helper here with the FAMAS. And we'll go ahead and close it out, making it 13-4 here in favor of the stream team. And I think a 14-4 is probably right around the corner, unless Justus decides to pistol armor here and make something magical happen. But they will buy some upgraded pistols, but I don't see any armor being bought. So once again, this should be probably a pretty quick, easy round for TST. Looks like we are going to see Justus just trying to run through B tunnels to lower to mid. Seems to be the strat here. And we do have Adren and Anger watching this cross from A ramp and CT spawn, and there's no smoke up, so it's just pretty much easy pickings for Adren and Anger at this point, as they will just have a flawless victory on the round, barely even losing any health between their 5 players. And so the stream team does put themselves at 1 round away from match point, 14-4 on the board. And Justus will go ahead and pretty much buy for their map 2 lives now, as with this buy, it puts them really low on money. And, I mean, they'll still be able to probably force some AKs and Galils next round, but they definitely won't have an op next round if they lose here. And like I said, they'll have to kind of decide between armor and nade sets, and whether they want an AK or a Galil and things like that. So basically, it would be really beneficial for them to go ahead and win here and now, because next round they're going to be scraping together very little money to be able to buy. we did already see a lot of damage being dealt over here to Ape early in the round as Justus is beginning to gain some control of the long, but Yayo's going to be able to step out, catches Peter with a nade out, but still is unable to get the frag, and Peter, in fact, comes up with 2 of his own with the op. And so Justus fighting pretty heavy here, but Adren able to get that op pick on Cat, and he's able to fall down before they can trade it out. So he's keeping his team in the round, but they've given up so much control of the A side. I mean, they've had to after, you know, the 2 guys at long were killed, and Adren obviously can't just keep holding it by himself with the op, forced to fall back in the CT spawn. Volcano slowly backpedaling here up the slope to try to see if he can catch a pick onto Cat, but Planks will just jump on the sight box and catch him in the side for free. So it's pretty much just leaves Ape and Adren alone, and I think at this point they're just going to go ahead and save. They have plenty of rounds. They don't need to rush anything here, and they want to hold on to this op for Adren in the next round. And so with that said, Justus doing exactly what they need to do, win the round in a situation where the stream team's 1 round away from match point. And on top of that, they do it in a fashion where they will only have to rebuy on 1 player, which is huge because they don't have a whole lot of bank. So, here we go. 14-5 in favor of the stream team by a pretty substantial margin, but Justus is definitely still holding on here. They have a full buy, AKs and an op. Some FAMASas over here on the TST side, but still a pretty solid buy for them, as we do see lots of flashes going off at long. Planks trying to spin through the smoke and get some kills. Didn't get any, but he did a lot of damage, and AGM is able to clean it up, as you can see. 3 quick frags there as Justus begins to pursue the long A. And a 2 versus 4 in their favor. Ape stepping out, trying to grab himself a frag here through the smoke at the crossing, but unable to do so thus far as he's just kind of stuck over here at elevator. He's able to avoid the brunt of that nade, but he's still all alone here, and he will get taken out. So Justus starting to mount this comeback story, 6-14, but they are still well outside of what would be reasonable to expect them to actually finish the comeback off. But I think, you know, they have TST on a save here, so 14-7 is pretty probable. And I think if they can maybe get up to 10 rounds or something like that, then all of a sudden you have to start thinking to yourself that it is actually possible for them to put this away in 2 maps. But until they get to that 10-round marker, I'm still willing to bet that we're going to see a map 3, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. TST all just kind of out on the slope here, trying to see if they can pick up some kills on this cat crossing. They actually do pick up 2, but it looks like Justus should still be able to get control of A and get this bomb down. But Anger fighting into a 2 versus 2 actually. Planks coming through a smoke, does catch Volcano, but Anger is still in a winnable 1 versus 2, and he knows that Peter's alone inside the site. He knows that that rotation's going to take a while at Cat, and so he's trying his luck here, but Peter smartly backs off, but that's still bomb down for Anger, but oh, he tries to jump into the site to grab the gun, and Planks did have enough time to make it up a Cat at that point. And so Justus does win the round, but it was pretty scary. I mean, the stream team got that into a 1 versus 1 on a full, like, well, not a full save, but, you know, a very partial buy. And so that it's still, you know, tough for Justus to swallow that they, you know, let it get that close. As it is now 14-7, the stream team is 1 round away from match point here, and both teams are on a pretty equal buy, and Adren getting the early mid pick. It's something he did quite a lot on the T side, and now he's transferring it over onto the CT side. As Justus needs to try to recover here, otherwise it will be the stream team on match point, and I mean, that's just, you know, having to play for overtime right off being that many rounds behind. That would just be a tall order here for Justus. So hopefully they'll recover here and now and try to bring this round onto their side, as we do see Planks pressed up pretty aggressively at mid, firing some blows over into the CT side, but Ape is just able to peek out and get pretty much a free kill there on the Planks, and so now the stream team has a 2-man advantage pretty early in the round. And you're getting aggressive on Cat here, but he is smoked out for now. We do have Flowsick trying to slowly work his way out the B tunnels, but Volcano's just waiting for him here inside the site, and they are going to exchange fire. Oh, 8 gets caught by a great headshot, though, from Flowsick, trying to help Volcano out. And Flowsick will use that to get into B and collect yet another frag, and now the B bomb site has been actually taken. The bomb's going to take a little while to get tunnels into the site, but like I said, it has been taken. And Dren's just going to have to try to go for a chance op here through the smoke. Yeah, I had to break that out at some point, guys. So it was there. That's the way fate decided it, guys. That's the way. As Yeo and Adren just looking to see if they can't catch someone trying to exit through the side. I'm sure eventually they'll fall back to try to save this op for Adren, but it looks like it will be another round for Justus, and it looks like they will get it to 14-8. And like I said, if they can get a couple of more, all of a sudden you have to start thinking to yourself that the comeback dream is real. But until then, I think TST is still in pretty decent control.
Terrorists win.
So, after all that we've seen thus far, TST does find themselves in a bit of a safe situation here. I mean, they do have that op that Dren was able to hold on to, but other than that, everyone else is on pistols, and I don't want to count them out, though, because just a couple of rounds ago, they got into a 1 versus 1 off of a bunch of pistols, and now they have an op to work with it on top of that, so I can't really say for sure or for certain that Justus will easily get this round, but they certainly come off to a good start as they do get that initial kill over at Long A. Anger is going to be over here at the game helper with the 5-7, and they're not going to be paying attention, so he gets a little bit of damage off, but not enough to get a frag. Volcano picks up 1, but it's still a 1-on-4, but they're not smoking off the cross, and so Adren able to get an op pick there, but the problem is the bomb is actually going to be going B, and so Adren doesn't expect this at all, I don't think, just yet. Though they haven't pressed fully into B just yet. He is exposed, though, but he hears that smoke, and so now he knows the gig is up here. But there is one guy still coming CT spawn with low HP, and he will find that shot. And so 2 kills for Adren thus far in this 1 versus 4. Now it's a 1 versus 2. Looks like he's about to throw a pop flash through the window. Not going to execute with it, though. Looking for an op pick instead over here at the big box. And Pete is going to be here. He will get the leg shot into Adren, actually. And so Adren with low HP. This is going to be very, very tough, but he still seems pretty content to go for it. But AGM waiting on the tight corner. And that's going to be a free frag there for him pretty much. And so they will now take it to 14-9. So, I mean, like I said, if they can keep this up, they will actually get to a point where all of a sudden the comeback is a pretty legitimate option. But until they can maybe get a little bit closer, I think TST is still probably feeling okay. But like I said, that comfortable feeling is starting to fade away here as Justus has been able to win quite a few rounds in a row here. Looks like they are going to try to spill out into long, but Yayo thus far shutting it down pretty well, and Adren catching this cat cross from Game Helper with the op, and Ape rotates up the slope, picks up 1 as well, and so this is what could be possibly one of the final nails of the coffin in map 2 for Justus, as TST will clean up the round and push themselves to game point 15-9. And Justus, of course, has built up a pretty considerable bankroll after winning so many rounds in a row, so they'll still be able to buy here, but they do have to win 6 in a row to force an overtime, and that's going to be a tall order based on what we've seen thus far. Even though Justus won quite a few rounds in a row so far this half, a lot of the rounds have been very close, coming down to 1v1s or 1v2s. And even in rounds where TST has had to save with pistols, they've still played rounds into 1 versus 1s and such. So you got to think something's going to give eventually here for TST and put this one away and force the map 3. But at the same time, Justus has done pretty well so far on the T side, so it's not completely unreasonable to maybe think that they could put up 6 in a row and push us in the OT. As with that said, we are going to see Justus working a B split here up the mid, and they will be able to take control of this site. They do have a 3 versus 2. Going to go ahead and get this bomb planted here as Peter is going to watch the tunnels. As Anger and Adren still kind of stuck out here in CT spawn. There's a guy close to their right. Anger is going to spot him out, and he will get the frag. But at this, I don't know if they're going to go for it or not. It seems like they're thinking about it. We do see Anger actually starting to press up, so it seems like they want to go ahead and go for this. They still could. There's still enough time here. Adren picks up a rifle, steps up to the window, gets killed by Planks, and Planks will take out Anger as well. So with that said, it is now 15-10. As Justus is 5 rounds away from forcing an OT here in map 2, and with map 1 already under their belt. They could maybe put this away in 2 maps, but at the same time, TST looks poised pretty well to force a map 3. As TST on the save here, getting pretty aggressive over towards long, trying to get over to the blue bin, but Alicia's going to catch it here, and he will deliver the frags. And so it's like Justus should be able to clean this round up pretty easily here, unless we see some miracle shots from some of these remaining TST guys, which I can't count completely out. Like I said, we've seen it happen already in this half. But it's looking like Justus isn't going to let it happen here. They will just go ahead and sweep through A. Only drop 1 player in the process, and put themselves within 4 rounds of forcing an overtime. So here we have it, 15-11 scoreline. A very, very close game here, as Justus has definitely put on a show tonight. I mean, they won map 1 in a pretty dominant fashion, and though the stream team got off to a great start towards the middle of the first half, we have seen Justus keep themselves in the game. We do see a little bit of aggression here from TST on the catwalk, as Adren was trying to peek into the lower B tunnels, and he did a fair amount of damage there to flanks, but does not get the kill. And Elijah is going to be able to step up with the pop flash and deliver a nice set of frags there onto Adren and Anger. And so Justus really not wanting to go to map 3, really wanting to push this into overtime and try to 2-0 the TST, as we will make it into the A bomb site here. Peter is going to go ahead and get onto the plant here in the center of the site. And as you can see, TST not even going to think about continuing this time. They're just going to save these 3 imports inside the B bomb site. And so that means that Justus will make it 15-12 and put themselves 3 out from forcing a potential OT. So great work here in the second half from Justus, after having a rough first half where I think the stream team was up something like 11-4. They've come up pretty huge here in the second half on their own T side. And they actually prevent the save from TST as I say that. And so that means that we are going to see another save out of TST now, which means that it could be a really quick and easy 15-13 now for Justus. That was really huge to prevent those saves from TST. TST trying to post up on Cat here with these pistols to see if they can prevent the take from Justus, and they actually get a couple of kills over towards Long as well, so they find themselves in a 2 versus 3 where Flosick actually is low on health, but Flanks did take out 8, so now it's going to be all up to Yayo. As he will try to see if he can't flank up the catwalk here. Bomb has still yet to be planted inside the site, and he actually does pick up an AK. What does he do? Does he decide to save this AK, or does he decide to go for this? Oh, he has his knife out. Flosick will just step out for the free kill. And so it will be 15-13. As the stream team had such a big lead. Like, I want to say at one point it was 14-4 or something like that. So I guess that would mean that Justus has won something like 4 or 5 rounds in a row, lost a round, and won another 3 or 4 rounds in a row. Something like that. My graph is broken, so I can't know for sure, but that seems about right, I think. So they definitely had a pretty solid second half here on the T side. As they already get into B, taking down Volcano, Adren able to find planks over the smoke with the op, but I mean, the damage has been dealt. Justus has gotten the entry at B, and they will get the bomb down, and they will get a 4-on-4. As TST is gearing up to try to go for the retake here. 8 just clearing out mid, making sure no flanks coming from there. It seems like all, 4 members of Justus are actually inside the B bomb site. They do have one kind of floating tunnel. It's going to be Peter with the op, but otherwise, I mean, they are definitely holding firm here in the site. Peter able to catch one of the retakers up lower B tunnels, and the legs another. And now TST, after losing a player and getting one down so low, and with the bomb ticking away for as long as it has, they do actually decide to fall back and save these guns, which means that we will get to 15-14, and we are 1 round apart here between an overtime or a TST victory in the closest margin possible. And somehow Adren jumping up and down at green box is able to avoid dying, and so he will get the hold on to that op. I mean, we'll see, man. What was once a tall order for Justus to make the comeback is now within 1 round's reach, and they have done a fantastic job at staying in this map number 2. So what will it be? Will it be 16-14 for TST, or will it be overtime? So far, Adren is really vowing for TST to push the map 3, which will be DE train if it does come to it. Ape eating lots of bullets here at the double doors as Justus will go ahead and press out mid, but Ape able to find one, and Volcano rotates to find yet another as well. And so we do have a 4-on-2 here. So it looks like the stream team is just a couple of kills away from pushing a map 3 on train, as it is going to be just AGM and Peter to see if they can't try to force an OT and keep that 2-0 series dream alive here. Still plenty of time left on the round. Yeo has already pressed out long, so lots of information here for the stream team. Adren is just going to be kind of watching me tunnels. Anger does spot one head, flicks and grabs the headshot, looks for another, finds that one too, and so that's all she wrote, folks. It will be 16-14 in favor of the stream team. Looks like we are going to be moving to map 3, which will be trained to determine who will be your upper bracket winner here in the Premier Playoffs, and see who will be playing against Pure, also known as Savage, in the upper bracket finals, which will be later on this week. Loser, of course, will be going on to play NFS in the lower bracket. And that's kind of where we sit, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of chill here. I think maybe we won't have to switch servers on the GoTV. I'm hoping it'll just swap over to map 3 and we can just kind of chill here. But if not, we'll go ahead and swap over to the next GoTV in just a second. But I am going to take just a quick break to go grab some more water to drink. And when I come back, we'll see if we have to change servers or not. And we'll just kind of go from there. And we'll bring you the rest of this Premier Playoff match, as it will come down to map 3 on train to determine who will move on in the upper bracket.